In our last blog, we talked about what might have been the most important aspect of our series thus far, but in today's presentation, I believe that we are looking at what is to be considered the most important aspect thus far, which is the next level. Now that you've decided to adopt a plant-based lifestyle, what's next? So here we go. What's next? Work your way up to the elimination of 80 to 90% of animal and animal byproducts from the diet. So we're still talking about baby steps. We're still talking about being gradual and intentional in what we're doing, staying focused so that we don't overwhelm ourselves. But it's time. It's time to make a concerted effort to say, you know what? I don't need these things in my diet. I could do without them. And so whether it's the animal product themselves or the byproducts, dairy, butter, margarine, things like that, eggs, things that you don't need because you're supplementing in your diet already, and which I do thoroughly recommend that you are supplementing your vitamins and your mineral intake. So, yes, most definitely work your way up. And as I will say later on, avoid frustration by taking baby steps. Don't just go all in for the sake of going all in. Be intentional in your going all in. If you have to take some time to get off of a certain product that you've been accustomed to for a long time, you consider it your favorite food. Remember the goal. Remember the goal. And so the next thing is that you're going to incorporate the other facets of health into the lifestyle. And that is, in terms of proper nutrition, you are going to try to up your fruits and vegetable intake, your intake of grains and nuts. You're going to adopt a diet where you are going to seek to eliminate as much as possible sugar and salt and spicy foods and rich foods out of your diet and try to adopt a simpler fare. Yes, it's okay to treat yourself once in a while, but let those be the exception and not the norm. Exercise. You want to try to get at least an hour of exercise in daily, and I always recommend just a nice brisk jog or walk. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening. Water. You want to make sure that your water intake is adequate and proportional to the way that your body is speaking to you. I endorse, and I truly mean this. People talk about 8 ounces of water, a glass of water, whatever they say, but in reality is don't overdo it. It's when you thirst, you crave the water. Other than that, this whole idea of sipping throughout the day and, gallon or whatever people do, it's not really necessary. And in fact, the body could only assimilate a certain amount of water at a time. And so if you overtax the body, then you're doing more harm than good, what you think you're doing. It's better to give yourself a natural electrolyte boost so that could be better for you than just constantly chugging water. And in the area of water, I want to recommend that you drink less water at mealtimes and work your way up to no water at mealtimes so that you can train your saliva in the natural enzymes to do their work. And then we have sunlight. Many of us over the past several years have been so accustomed to being hid away in isolation. It's time to get back out there and to reintroduce ourselves to the sun. Few minutes in the morning, few minutes in the evening, we need that vitamin D. And again, supplement your vitamin D intake. Fresh air, very important. Learn how to do those breathing exercises properly. Look it up on YouTube or whatever video platform you have. Make sure that you get adequate rest. Many of us can't do the 8 hours, but do the best you can. And finally and ultimately, trust in God. Trust in God. Most important thing, because after all, He is our healing. He is our health. He is our everything. And then, like I said, revisiting what we talked about before, avoid frustration You know, if you mess up, if you slip up, if you don't get what you needed to get in today, by God's grace, there's always a tomorrow. There's always another chance to get it right. And all you have to do is do the best you can, and God will work out the rest. After all, He is the grand designer, the master builder of your human machinery. He knows best how it functions. And you know what? He knows your heart. He knows your level. He knows how much you can take. Just trust Him to work it out for you. See you in the next video when we'll be continuing our next level look, but we'll be looking more about taking the other steps, the additional steps, and becoming meatless. See you then.